Iasu Malagedo. The original concept for Dumb and Dumber came from writer and director John Hughes. He wanted to call it Ski Nuts, but it was never completed, so he passed it on to the Farley brothers, Peter and Bobby. What this has to do with computer love? You tell me. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Computer Love, Part 79.
This was a really petty thing to do. In 1997, a man from Japan named Oto Katayama was really unhappy with his wife, Yumi. Since they had just recently had their third child together, Yumi had been spending pretty much all of her time taking care of and hanging out with their kids rather than him. And since Oto really missed all the attention that she used to show him, he started to feel really jealous of his kids and really frustrated towards Yumi. As a result, Oto soon decided that he would simply just stop talking to her. Although his wife would still try to talk to him and ask him questions, he refused to reply with anything other than nods and grunts anymore. And for the next almost 20 years, despite Yumi always trying to still make conversation with him, Oto never said a single word to her. In 2017, their son, who had never even heard his parents have a conversation before, finally had enough and decided to contact a local TV show to try and heal Oto and Yumi's relationship. This TV show agreed to bring the couple out to the park where they had their first date, and there, Oto finally started talking to Yumi again. He explained that he had been really jealous, but had now realized that he was so grateful for everything that Yumi had done for their family. Oto then asked for Yumi's permission to be her husband again and to make up for his actions, and she ended up agreeing.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have a marriage like this, I would do it right after this podcast. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen. It really doesn't. I mean, this could be bullshit. I don't know. This could be true. I mean, I don't know. I'd like to believe that this is true. I really do. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, so we found out about this in 2025, right? So take away 20 years, it's about 2005. Now, obviously they had online dating before that, but it really didn't quite, explode until like the mid 2000s. And then, a few years later, it basically became the norm. So I'm not saying this guy went silent because he wasn't talking to his woman anymore. He didn't want to, but it's very possible that he just discovered online dating, and she was taking such good care of their kid or kids, or I don't know. I mean, maybe he didn't even know how many kids he had, but maybe he just discovered online dating. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you do it for about 20 years, and basically like I have. I mean, I didn't really discover online dating until I moved out. Like I moved out in 2004, and there was a thing called Lava Life, and I realized years later. I mean, it was the perfect name for a dating website because I mean, you're literally stepping your feet in hot lava every time you try online dating. You don't know what the fuck to expect. More than likely, it'll burn you. It'll just it will just ruin you. But again, it proves a couple things. Like a lot of people think that silence isn't golden. I mean, in many ways, it is. This is a perfect example of it. And two, maybe online dating is the key to a successful marriage. Let me explain. So, with all these open marriages, and let's be honest, a lot of people have open marriages. I even come across profiles that say, "Hey, I'm in an open marriage. Would you like to be the third or even possibly fourth person here?" So maybe a lot of people just want that, stability of being married. Someone to take care of their kids and the house and all that, and they just want to, roam and do other things. So I'm not saying again what this guy. This is what this guy did. Maybe he just wanted some peace and quiet, But I don't know. It is kind of a coincidence. I'm just saying. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, online dating it's no picnic. There's nothing silent about it. I mean, it just gets worse and worse every day, every year, and it's just overall horrible. So of course I have to talk about my experiences with my 3 fans here, and by golly, I appreciate the support. But if you want to support me on YouTube, just put in at the Malaka Podcast 416, or if you're a fan of Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris doesn't need online dating. Put in at the Chuck Norris channel. And if you like TikTok, like we all do, got lots of great videos on there. At the Malaka Podcast 647. There's nothing silent about my TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. Just lots of bells and whistles that'll distract you hours before you go to bed. And then you'll trip out and have weird dreams like we all do, and that's that. The point of this podcast here, or this segment, is just to talk about some stuff I come across. And again, to my 3 listeners, I really do appreciate you. I have over 1,000 subscribers, which in today's world means absolutely nothing. But I do support all your support. So thank you for the support. Plain and simple. You see that silence there? Now picture 20 years of that. Oh, God, one day. Anyways, let's begin. So there's one profile I came across. She said, if you want to chat Skoden, LOL. Now it's spelled Skoden. I don't know what that means. So, of course, I had to Google it. And nowadays, when you Google something, it just says AI overview. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you how many times I've searched for something for the same thing. I put the same thing in Google, and then it'll give me 5 different answers. So I'm going to assume that this is the right answer. I don't know. If I'm wrong, will I be accused of being sexist, racist, blah, 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 whatever Gen Z can complain about these days? Go for it. It's still me and my bell. I stole that from a job one day. I think I've said this story many times. But the point is, it says here, Skoden is an indigenous slang term that means let's go then. And it's derived from the phonetic contraction of the English phrase. It can be used in various contexts, such as starting an activity or sometimes preparing for a fight. A relative term is studis, which means let's do this. Studis with how many? Yeah, 2 O's. I've never heard of this shit either. So, a lot of times we do online dating, and we're like, fuck it, let's go then. And then we find out it's a big mistake. There's no point in doing this. But then again, she's got a long road ahead of her. Listen, some people just got to learn the hard way how bad online dating can be. So, it's up to you. But the point is, it's a good attitude to start off with. And if you can somehow end with that attitude, that'd be great. So that would be stupendous. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, if you can somehow go into this with a positive attitude, that'd be great. Are you going to come out positive? Probably not. But, teach his own, I guess. So there's one girl I talked to, exchanged numbers for a bit, and, surprise, surprise, she found me to be a little bit more immature than what, she was expecting in a man. And, I just tried to keep up with the conversation, because she was kind of on the fence, I think I felt this could have been a little bit of a scam, who knows, but she was asking a lot of, personal questions already, but I was like, all right, I'll go along with this, and, she's on the fence, she says she's not interested, but then she keeps asking questions, right? So it's like which one is it? Jump with 2 feet or don't jump at all, And then I said at one point, like, you want to dance? And she's like, what? I mean, like, no, like literally, like, do you want to dance? Like, do you like dancing? Do you like dancing? The tango and all that, and you know. And she's like, you can't dance. I'm like, yeah, no, I can dance. Of course, I can't dance the tango. I mean, I'm straight, but I'm just trying to do anything I can to kind of keep her engaged, right? Because that's what guys do. We try to get girls' attention, and we're doing our best, and then I'm just sending her like funny videos and whatever, and I guess I sent her a video that maybe implied that she was stupid, and she says, "Oh, are you calling me stupid?" And then I try to turn it around on her because I'm just trying to make something out of this, and I go like, "Why are you calling me stupid?" And she said, "Well, you sent me this yesterday," and I sent her that clip of remember that episode of Saved by the Bell, where they said they didn't smoke weed and they made a PSA about it, and dumb, stupid, it stinks and all that shit. So I always thought that was funny, and then years later I found out that Zach Morris is half Chinese and somehow he's still failing math. But the point is, I'm just doing anything I can just to keep her attention. You know what I mean? So, and then I just told her, I said I miss the '90s, and then she said, I didn't mean to offend you, and I was offended. I was like, and then I'm trying to make a joke about the '90s, and maybe she's an '80s kid, and and then she said, I think you're calling me stupid by sending me these, videos and pics and whatever, and I go, no, you're way off, and actually by saying that, I can see how she thinks I'm being a sarcastic prick, but I'm really not. I'm just trying to, find something, we can agree on here. And, she's like, I get the '80s vibe, but what was said there was a offense to me, especially yesterday. Anyways, have a good night. I'm like, you too. Uh, and then I actually text her full name, which is weird because, and this is something that I got to give a tip to someone else or just anybody else out there who wants to do online dating. Sometimes like someone will text me eventually. I talk to them online and they'll text me, and then I'll get their full name. It's weird, right? I mean, yeah, because I only know their first name, and I'll be honest with you. Sometimes it ends up, it ends up being. I don't know. I'm tired, guys. Sorry, but it ends up being I get to see their whole name. It's pretty crazy, and sometimes their first name I don't even know what the heck. It could be another name. I mean, who knows? I'm gonna stop talking like this, but the point is, I just threw it out there because I want to see if this is her name, and I don't think she ever responded after, and I don't know. Who knows? But here's the weird thing, ladies and gentlemen. Like about maybe at least a week or two later, I just assumed she didn't care, whatever. I get a message from WhatsApp, okay, and I don't know if it was the same number. Who knows? Who cares? I'm assuming it was, and then and I knew it was her because it had the same picture, and like there's like a link for pray for God's help during difficult times, verse of the week. Guys, excuse me a second. I'm sorry. Hey, God, what's going on? I don't know. I haven't talked to you since, I don't know, I did that podcast about the Channing Tatum there. And I mean, again, this guy must have been a war hero in World War II. And you guys, you blessed this guy with fucking everything possible. But the point is, I don't mean to disturb you maybe during dinner, but I don't know if you're aware of this, but some people are just, sending, weird links about you and your work that you've done over the years. And I don't know if you're aware of this. I mean, I don't know if it's, I don't know, considered sampling or whatever, but you might want to get on this. So just saying, Thanks for always listening to me. I appreciate it. Still waiting for those lotto numbers, but thank you. God bless, amen. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I just, this could be, I skipped school one day, many times after. You don't want to skip the first period, because chances are, or maybe you might get a Jehovah's Witness at the door, and that's what happened to me. So, and they walked very slowly. Uh, you know, they dressed like, you know, uh, the boys from Pulp Fiction. There, it's pretty disturbing. I'm not gonna lie. It's. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, if you're gonna scam somebody, I don't do it through the eyes of the Lord. I mean, just try to, you know. But maybe she wasn't a scam. Maybe I really did offend, one of these Jesus freaks. I don't know. Who knows? But it is weird. You're sending me shit on WhatsApp, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If someone messages you on WhatsApp, especially after they give you their number, it probably is a scam, So, and I get it. We all use WhatsApp to, talk about talk to relatives overseas, or I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they're getting illegal prescriptions. But the point is, just come on. Don't bring God into this. I mean, it's not good for your soul. By the way, I just found this out recently. Vincent and Jules from Pulp Fiction, one of my favorite movies of all time, because Danny DeVito was a producer on that movie. That's why the characters are named Vincent and Jules, after the characters in the movie Twins that starred Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Once again, these facts have nothing to do with online dating, but the point is, I mean, if you're going to scam people out of money and to use God, I mean, that's low, man. That's pretty low. So again, if you're going to scam people, you shouldn't. But at the same time, don't use God. I mean, at least cut him in the action. I'm just kidding. But no, you shouldn't do that. So this one profile, I'm sure it's going to get better. This one profile, I talked to, and she seemed cool. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, I come across somebody who, you talk for a little while. You kind of got a feeling that they're not interested, but then all of a sudden they're like, okay, cool, we'll exchange numbers, but you got to promise never to call me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that could be so many red flags for so many different reasons. I mean, she could be married. She could be a secret agent. You don't know. But she did say that she doesn't like to talk on the phone. Now, I've come across more than one person, that's like this, and I get it. I mean, for the most part, nobody really talks on the phone anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But at the same time, I do like to call the person before I eventually meet up with them. If I meet up with them. I mean, sometimes I will do a phone call and, they end up hanging up. I end up hanging up. God might intervene, if we're all lucky and, just we lose the connection. Who knows? But the point is, it does put up kind of a red flag to me. So, I mean, what if I go with this person and I need to reach her in an emergency? What if I can't text? I got to do a quick dial. I can't do that, and I'll be lying there on the ground, and she's like, "Hey, why is this fat fuck calling me?" And I'm like, "Well, because I I got shot on the side of the road because somebody wanted my Ford Taurus, and I'm just kidding. I don't drive, but the point is, it is weird, so." I'm trying to figure out why, and I think she said a lot of it is because of work, and she doesn't like it. And I couldn't really get a really good reason. I don't think so. And then we try to arrange, something, to meet, and every time I talk to someone, as I like to call it, graduating from dating apps hell, I always delete the profile on there of that person. Of the woman, and because there's no point. I already have her number, right? So what's the point of having two things? So, and I think I made a comment that about her hair color or whatever or something, and she's like, "How do you remember? You deleted my profile." I'm like, "What's?" I just remember, and you deleted it. I thought you weren't interested. Blah bitty blah blah blah. And of course, there's a fucking fight there, and I don't know. I'm, I forget talking on the phone. I didn't want to. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have. I regret texting her. But the point is, again, I think on some level you have to talk to somebody on the phone. Like, I get online dating, it kind of gives you that opportunity to avoid all that at first, but eventually you do have to talk to somebody on the phone. I don't think I don't think it's that bad of a thing to do. Maybe it's just me, call me old fashioned, but yeah. So to me personally, I would get, some help for that, or find out that, like, talking on the phone is not that scary. I get it. Gen Z, good luck to you. Millennials, I don't know, you guys got your own fucking problems, whatever. But the point is, my generation, more, I know I am technically a millennial, but it's like calling Steph Curry black. I mean, you're technically right, but not really. But the point is, there's nothing wrong with talking on the phone. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, like, if there's a real problem, I get it. You need help, whatever. But if you're just doing it out of laziness, go fuck yourself. Okay, just get over it. It's not the mid thousands anymore. Like, I don't know, like the guy was, I don't know, being silent for 20 years was. Like, we don't have to worry about fucking minutes, or don't call me at 5:59. Call me at 6:01 to be on the safe side. So whatever. Just it's good to hear another human's voice that isn't, an operator, or that I can comprehend English. Just make the effort. That's all. Again, it's online dating. I get it. We're all fucking lazy, but come on. And here's another brilliant profile. Once again, there's only two pictures. The first picture, which is the main profile picture, I mean, it literally just shows like a kind of a cliff around some water, the sky, the trees, nobody in sight. I don't know what the fuck this means. And then the profile just says fun and outgoing, still a kid at heart. Now, the irony of that, ladies and gentlemen, is the next picture is literally a picture of a kid. I mean, it's, I don't know, maybe this one was meant for Epstein Island, but I mean, the kid looks like basically, picture the first season of Stranger Things. The two kids that looked alike there, with the Mo haircut. It's just, for some reason, actually, now I think about it, it's like a striped shirt that kind of looks like a Freddy Krueger, I don't know, it just graduated from Sandbox in kindergarten. I mean, just, I don't know. I don't know what this world is coming to, folks. I just, like, can we just put up a simple picture of, like, who you are, and, I'm starting to think that a lot of these profiles are just like revenge profiles, or just, starting to, they just want to fuck with people out there. And I even messaged the person. I said, like, what is going on with your profile? Of course, I didn't get a response. Why would I? That would be just normal. But again, folks, if you could just put up a plain, simple picture of yourself, that'd be great. I don't think I'm asking for much here. Like this person here, there you go. She put up a plain picture of herself. Cool. Nothing wrong there, I am a mother and a grandmother. My kids and grandchildren are everything to me. All right, that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Very, simple to the point there. The only problem is, like, she put up a picture of herself, which is fine. That's cool. The next picture is a picture of her dog, which I see. It's weird because, like, her dog, I don't even think this next picture, it's someone holding a dog. Okay, I don't think it's her. It's someone in a hood. You can see half their face. Half the face is covered by the dog, and then the next picture is just the dog. The next picture is, surprise, surprise, another dog picture. The next picture is a dog picture. And the next picture, which, I mean, it very well could be her, but it's either that or she had a hell of a night with fentanyl. I mean, again, it's just, it's all over the place. So, again, you know, so two things we should get out of this. One, if you put more pictures of your dog than yourself, that's you're not looking for a date. You're looking for a breeder. And two, the difference between the first picture and the last one is the difference of night and day. I mean, it is just. I mean, the best way to describe it, folks, is picture just like a normal picture of someone, and then take Nick Nolte's picture of when he got arrested, with the hair all crazy, and it's. I mean, Nick Nolte's the man. Don't get me wrong. I think he's fucking awesome. But the point is, it's crazy. Maybe not that crazy, but it's. I mean, it must have been a hell of a vendor. But the point is, just try to take normal pictures of yourself. And again, like, we get it, like, well, I don't really get it, but like, people like dogs, But I mean, like, it's a dating website, so try to keep that in mind. That's all. I mean, can't people like this just go to a dog park and hope for the best, or they just marry their dogs? Anyways, so this one last profile here I came across here one time. It says here, I mean, seriously, what is the obsession with dogs? I don't get it. I just, like, I get it. They protect you and whatever, but if your place really goes up in flames, I mean, are they going to really, carry your ass out? I mean, the way people eat these days, I don't think it's possible. But anyways, my natural habitat is at home, but I'm always ready for an adventure, especially if it's outdoors. Fluent in kindness with a PhD in sarcasm. Not here for fleeting flings. Just looking for genuinely engaging chats with the possibility of good company on this wild path called life. Bonus points if you appreciate a well-timed eye roll. I do, actually. I really do, because it depends on, like, the circumstances and whatever, but that's cool. This seems like a normal profile. Holy fuck. Does she have a dog? Or let's see. Hold on. She's on the beach. Okay, that's cool. Posing Mother Nature. Cool. Okay, she's, with a cat, whatever. But I don't know. Teach his own. Cats are cool. They take care of their own shit. That's cool. I mean, the cat's. Hopefully, the picture and the cat's just sleeping. She's posing in one of these. You guys ever see those machines that, like, actually make a pizza for you? It's I'm Italian. That's too munchie cake for me. I can't do that shit. I don't know. It's just it's not good. I don't like it. She's posing with her friends, whatever. It's cool. Then she's going on a cliff here, climbing it, and there's a platform there. Holy shit, that's risky. That's crazy. But the point is, it seems like kind of a normal profile. But then I don't, like, I was scanning through it really, I guess, too quickly, and that's something that we all do. Like, let's be honest, we all kind of are, like, guilty of that sometimes. Like, we do scroll, quickly, and it could cost us. And then I went back to it, and then I realized, like, okay, she's at some kind of, like, museum or something, and then I look even closer, and she's posing next to, like a head, and like, the background is black, and it's just like a head statue, and it kind of blended in, I guess. And then I looked closer, and I realized she's standing next to Hitler, and uh, 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 huh. But to be fair, you know, she's standing next to it, but she's giving like the statue the finger, you know. So now, judging by the name, it may or may not be German. I'm not sure, but you know. And then looking, I'd like to give her the benefit of the doubt. I would, but at the same time, like, would you take that chance? I mean, like, even if you did do a picture like that, going like "fuck Hitler," okay, which Hitler can go fuck himself for sure. We all know that. But I mean, would you take that chance and put it in your profile picture for a dating website, and even on top of that, put it as your main picture? You know. And I realized something else too. Like she's posing with her friends, you know. She's giving up the peace sign. Her friend is giving up the peace sign. Her friend is, how do I put this? She's putting the way she's posing her hand up. It you know, it's kind of, yeah. The point is, you know, you really got to watch out what kind of pictures you put up, ladies and gentlemen. And again, like she may or may not be German. I'm not sure. Judging by the name, I don't know. I mean, her one out of her two friends definitely might be for sure. But the point is, I mean, really, I think what we should get out of this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, is, you know, really try to think about what pictures you put up, what kind of message are you sending, be aware of the friends you keep, and I mean, does that woman know what's going on overseas lately? And it just no, nothing, huh? Just huh, huh. Well, not only am I losing faith in the dating world online, I'm also losing faith in humanity. But so, yeah. But again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been definitely more of a depressing. I mean, like even the person taking the picture, I mean, like they couldn't say anything. I mean, clearly they posed like that for a bit, and like the one person could have stepped in, and I don't know, maybe it's a German director, who knows? But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, please, my God. I don't know. Being a 4% Jewish, I am very disturbed by all of this. But again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been more of a depressing end to this episode of, and very scared for the future of humanity. For Computer Love, Part 79.
Didn't notice your boyfriend has developed an annoying little habit?
The squinting?
No.
The staring?
No. He keeps asking me to give him a high five.
I thought all guys do that.
Slapping hands is the lowest form of male primate ritual. In fact, even some of them have moved on. They're doing sign language now.
Is that bad?
What do you think the Nazis were doing? That was the high five.
Isn't that from your act like 10 years ago?
A good bit in the 80s and a